Let's go.
Devil Dragon 1 asks, are you a Call of Duty hater? No, far from it. It does annoy me quite a bit how people seem to judge Call of Duty from its fans and, sort of how often the games are released. To be honest, I wouldn't exactly say that I hate it, but I'm not a die-hard fan either, really. I believe that the pinnacle of Call of Duty came with Call of Duty Modern Warfare, with its fantastic campaign and solid multiplayer. I will admit that the series has become a bit repetitive recently, but there's still some great fun to be had with Call of Duty. I definitely wouldn't say discount it because it's all over YouTube and its fan base. Its fan base is admittedly pretty bad, but they're good. It's good games out there. Well worth it. S Knight8046 asks, can you solve my riddle? I follow you wherever you go, but the more of me you take, the more you leave behind. What am I? Easy. Footsteps. Green Scorpion 64 asks, besides video games, what are your other interests? I have a great interest in music. I play the trumpet and the piano, and occasionally I'll whip out my ukulele and give that a little twiddle. I also have an obsession with music composition, as you may know from my video game music arrangements. I've got a whole playlist. Go find that. I enjoy the hell out of making them. And I also listen to a lot of music too. I've got about 3,000 songs on my iPod, so there you go. Other than music, I'd say my other main interest is sport. I'm an avid Chelsea football supporter. Football, not soccer. The football. It's soccer, but not it's Chelsea. But I'm also interested by cricket, tennis, and motor racing. Sporting stuff. And hey, the Olympics are on. I've been watching that a lot. It's fantastic. Nielsisback asks, how old are you? I am 16, but I turn 17 next week on Thursday the 2nd of August. Beast of the Asylum asks, how into Pokemon are you? Before Black and White, I'd probably say sort of into, if that makes any sense. I never really felt the urge to buy Heart Gold or Soul Silver, and Diamond and Pearl didn't really feel that fantastic to me. They were good games, but the magic of Pokemon I felt was kind of lost in those games. But as soon as I got Pokemon Black, I was hooked. I was just, that was it. That was a thing. I got it. It was brilliant. I remember the good old days of Gold and Silver, which are my favourites incidentally. But I do appreciate Gen 3 as well. So I guess it's a progressive thing. Am I getting the Black and White sequels? Yeah, I might as well. I've heard little things about them, and yeah, they seem pretty good. If they can build on what Black and White, the original Black and White did, it'll be fantastic. I mean, geez, Black and White, I think, technically, are the best Pokemon games ever made. Waffle Dude 9001 asks, of the up-and-coming Wii U and 3DS games, what are you most excited for? I was a little disappointed by Nintendo's E3 like most people, but I'm very excited for Pikmin 3. They've added a few more Pikmin types, and I'm interested to see what they're going to do with that gamepad. Other than that, though, I'd say Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. It looks very intriguing. The original was too short. That was a common complaint about the game, and the fact that it's a Luigi game. So I'm hoping they will actually build on what made the original so good, and just make the sequel even better, as you'd probably expect. L5 Animations asks, have you had a nice day? Yeah, I did actually, thanks for asking. KB Madhouse asks, who is your favourite LPer? I'd have to say on balance, my favourite would be Nintendo Capri Sun. Chugga Conroy is great for discovering new games and getting through a game that you might be struggling with. But I don't actually find him all that funny. It's not sort of an actual gripe with him, it's just his idea at humour isn't quite the same as mine. On the flip side, I find JonTron absolutely hilarious. Yeah, whatever. I find him really funny, but he rarely updates, so it's not exactly practical. He's only got a couple of videos you can watch. NCS, meanwhile, has a great personality, a brilliant sense of humour, and uploads on a regular basis, so he is my preferred LPer. Demon Lord Chuck asks, Is there any reason a Dragon Quest game hasn't been in your countdowns? Yeah, I haven't played any. I've heard sort of faint whispers that they're good games, but I just haven't had the urge to buy one, really. Maybe one of you people in the comments section can help me and tell me where to start in the series. Then I might be just a little bit more persuaded. That Metal Cloud asks, what game series do you want to get interested in? I really want to get into Half-Life because I feel like I'm missing out. My computer isn't fantastic, you know, it can do some editing and it can play Portal 2, actually, interesting, so maybe it can play Half-Life. But I may have to invest in a console version instead. People have talked about Half-Life, the creepy aspect. I've heard on my disturbing levels in non-horror video games, people are talking about Ravenholm, whatever, and how that's pretty creepy. So, and G-Man, also G-Man. There's also the music as well. Some cracking music in that game. I mean, geez, Half-Life 2's got some brilliant music. So yeah, it's something I really want to get into sometime in the future. Animal Guy 001 asks, what's worse, Sonic R or Superman 64? Well, they're both pretty terrible, that's for sure. I'd say on balance, Superman 64 is probably worse because there's just more things wrong with it. Sonic R is bad, but it isn't quite as broken as Superman 64. Personally, I prefer playing Superman 64 because it's so bad. Kind of like watching a terrible, sort of cheesy film. Sonic R, though, is neither fun nor fun because it's bad, so I hate it more. It's more of a torturous experience playing Sonic R. So Superman 64 is sort of the worst game, but I hate Sonic R more. So pick the bones out of that one.